listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast, a podcast for today's insurance agents. Informing, educating, empowering, improving the way you do business in an industry that's anything but static.
In today's episode, discover how you can grow your business by using community-based marketing methods, how to find communities near you, how to get involved, and make lasting personal connections. Community-based marketing for insurance agents, written by Isabel Vitelli. It can be tiring seeing ads plastered across billboards, TV, and social media. Authentic engagement is what people are looking for, and community-based marketing is the way to go for achieving that, especially as an independent insurance agent. Although a relatively new term, community-based marketing, or CBM for short, is perhaps the oldest school of marketing. Think back to days gone when social media, TV, billboards, magnets, and Slim Jims weren't a thing. People learned who to go for certain services by word of mouth within their operating communities. Have a broken tractor? Well, Jerry in the next town over will fix it for you in exchange for a couple bags of flour. Though this example is exaggerated and simplified, it demonstrates what's at the heart of CBM. Filling the needs within the context of well-established communities. Let's walk through what community-based marketing looks like in our modern world. CBM is much less about what you might think of as marketing and more about making connections. Marketers phrase their definitions of community-based marketing in lots of different ways. But essentially, CBM is as the name implies, marketing that occurs within communities through open communication and shared experiences, the exchange of values and the creation of mutual meaning. The end goal of a community-based marketer is to identify and fulfill the needs of a community, not sell a certain number of policies or products. If this sounds complex and heady, it is. Community-based marketing isn't as easy to implement and track as social media campaigns or direct mailers, but needs to be part of your marketing strategy anyways. Why? In the wake of pandemic isolation, people are lonely and seeking authentic places where they can meet other people and share stories, ideas, and values. It's easy for people to tune out the noise of traditional marketing. Do you mute ads while watching TV or pay a streaming service for no ads at all? The internet is evolving into a place of decentralized information, meaning people aren't looking to big corporations for their information. CBM may be the best way to help your potential clients see the relevancy in what you're offering. If you're going to be marketing in communities, it's important to understand their components. Just because a group of people gather doesn't make them a community. To earn the title, a community must be a space where people share values and interests and create meaning and a sense of belonging. The space where we foster community can be online, like a Facebook group or forum, or offline, like school, the office, and church. Sometimes these communities are right under your nose in your immediate geographical vicinity. In fact, you may already be a part of one. Think of a hobby club, church congregation, PTO group, or a team of coworkers. These are all outlets for community formation. There's also something called brand community. It's a relatively new concept that's been on the rise in tandem with CBM. While studying brand communities, researchers noticed the presence of 3 traditional community markers interacting in the brand context. The first is consciousness of kind. Members feel a meaningful connection to the brand, but more importantly, feel a strong bond with one another. Second is rituals and traditions. Members share consumptive experiences around a brand, which solidify consciousness of kind. Third is moral responsibility. Loyal members see it as a moral obligation to stay with the brand and look out for and assist other members in their consumption of the brand. Brand communities tap into the social and emotional needs of members, something community-based marketers need to identify so they can fulfill those needs. Remember, that's the end goal. Next, don't be afraid to let community-based marketing influence your other methods of marketing. CBM is not traditional or digital marketing, although it might involve them to an extent. Let us be clear, traditional and digital marketing still need to play a role in your marketing strategy, just not the only role. Let the mindset you'll cultivate as a community-based marketer inform how you utilize other approaches. Make your traditional and digital marketing as much about emotional connection as possible. It's helpful to imagine a marketing emotional continuum. All the way to the left, we've got less emotional connection, while all the way to the right is more emotional connection. Broadcast content lands all the way to the left, aligning with less emotional connection. For example, billboards and TV ads. With these, the audience consumes the content, but that's all. Yes, they can see it, but there's no way for them to engage with the content. In the middle of our continuum, we find content plus an audience. The audience still consumes the content and possibly engages with it. This start of emotional engagement consists of actions like commenting on social media and blog posts. And then on the right of our continuum, aligning with more emotional connection, is where we find community. Marketing with the most emotional connection involves community. The audience is directly involved with the content creation. Think Facebook groups where everyone can share a post, or a book club where everyone has the opportunity to share their ideas and opinions. When a client feels an emotional connection to you, they're more likely to have a higher customer satisfaction, give you their loyalty, promote you to others, and believe in your business. Humanizing your business through relationships shows your client that you care more about them as a person with unique needs than about a potential profit. Now that we've explored the elements of a community and the best marketing methods for CBM, the next part is where to find community. If you're really gung-ho, you can engage in communities to which you're already connected, or you can create your own communities. Brainstorming how and what kind of community to create around your business might be tricky. Remember, the purpose of CBM is finding out needs and fulfilling them. This kind of marketing takes time, investment, and an interest in forming genuine relationships. Here's a few ideas to get the ball rolling. Host a bi-monthly morning coffee and conversation group that meets at the library. Publicize topics of conversation. Pick those that would be relevant to your client's demographic. Organize a monthly or bi-monthly bingo or trivia night at your local community center, with you as the host. Hold a more direct questions about insurance group at your office. It's helpful to have a partner when forming your own communities, as it can be a big undertaking. If you have downlines, consider asking them to assist you. Find other professionals in your area that cater to the same audience and might be interested in helping you plan and host. You might already be a part of a community, or at least know of existing communities you can join where you can plant the seeds of CBM. Perhaps your local library or community center already hosts book clubs, bingo or trivia nights, hobby clubs, and exercise groups. Get involved and join one. Don't come in just advertising your services, though, and be mindful of any group rules regarding self-promotion. Build the foundation of a relationship first. Your line of work and knowledge on insurance will come up naturally over time. In the future, you'll be the resident expert on your insurance niche, and community members will already feel comfortable enough to ask questions, express needs, and even employ your services. While you're in the mindset of connecting with others, don't forget the power of affinity partnerships. If you're already working with other businesses or organizations in your area to garner needs, reach out to those businesses and make a CBM pitch. Build on the existing relationship and support each other, either by joining a community together or starting your own. How can you take CBM theories and ideas to make a real impact on your community? We've talked theoretically about CBM marketing and provided some examples of communities you can create or join. But you may be looking for some more concrete examples on how to get started with this type of marketing. There are a myriad of ways to implement CBM, but before diving into planning an event, take a good look at your current mindset. Cultivating the mindset of a community-based marketer will make or break your long-term success. With CBM, you're not looking for a certain number of direct mailers to be returned or a certain number of likes on your social media campaign. You're looking for authentic relationships, which are much harder to track and quantify. Keep in mind these tenets to develop a strong CBM mindset. Listen more than you talk. Notice the needs of people, expressed verbally and non-verbally. And ask yourself, how can I fulfill these needs? If you nurture a good mindset, invest the time needed, and focus on emotional connection first, CBM will work its magic. You might be tempted to reduce CBM down to, I just need to get involved in my community. But it's not quite that simple. Yes, getting involved is a key part of CBM, but it's involvement with a purpose, to seek out needs and fulfill them, not just to socialize and have a good time. Remember the definition of a brand community we mentioned earlier. You're trying to foster an intentional community, one that has a consciousness of kind, rituals, and traditions, and moral responsibility. Not just the general community you find in your neighborhood, town, or city at large. Don't simply attend, get involved. With an established focus of fulfilling the needs of others instead of boosting your number of clients, write down all the ways you can think of getting involved in a community. Don't filter out any ideas during this brainstorming session. There are no wrong answers. Consider some of these. Sponsor a local sports team. Set up booths at local events like farmers markets, fairs, or community days. Volunteer at a food bank, local board, or church. Organize a fundraiser and offer a free service as a prize. Create a mentorship program for young insurance agents. Cultivate insurance literacy by talking to groups of all ages, like schools or senior groups. Let other organizations use your space if you have room. Host a movie, game, or trivia night at your local venue for your prospects and their families. Sponsor a local festival or fireworks display. Set up talks at senior centers, assisted living facilities, community centers, libraries, or other places where your client demographic spends time. Join forces with an affinity partner to offer college scholarships. Hire high school students to mow lawns and shovel snow for your prospects or clients. Plan a trash cleanup day. Organize an event where you provide free document shredding. Host paint and sip events. Run a craft supplies drive for a local school. This list of ideas just scratches the surface. Your list will depend on your personality, interests, budget, and comfort level, among other things. Don't be afraid to engage communities of all ages, even if your client base is older. You never know how forming connections with younger people will impact your business in positive ways. You're building a culture of community involvement, which may bear fruits in surprising ways. After you make a master list of ideas, start organizing them into a marketing plan. Prioritize some over others. Pursue one at a time and think quality over quantity. Consider your schedule and how much time you can dedicate to your CBM efforts. Draft a timeline. CBM does take a good chunk of time and sustained focus, but investing in your selected community should pay back dividends. Tapping into existing communities or creating your own may be easier in person. You also have the option of exploring CBM online. Digital communities can stand on their own or be part of your in-person efforts. Some outlets for online CBM include broadcast educational Facebook Live or TikTok videos, join Facebook groups about different hobbies, interests, or stages of life, post on insurance forums on Reddit, utilize community building apps like Nextdoor. Move your usual in-person events online, like a Zoom class or bingo night. Organize an online fundraiser. Read insurance blogs and post comments. Share content on your social media, like the latest healthcare news or fun articles. In general, creating unique online communities will take more time and effort to foster. So consider joining an existing community to get your feet wet with digital CBM. And remember, your ultimate goal is to listen and notice the needs of others. All of these ideas require a lot of extra effort and time. But what about during the busy seasons? Creating and embarking on your CBM journey is best done outside any busy season, like AEP or open enrollment. Instead, consider building your CBM strategy a lock-in focus. You'll have much less time to invest in your communities during busy seasons when your days are full of client appointments. But this doesn't mean you have to be completely absent from those relationships you've been working so hard to foster. It means that you'll have to dial back the involvement and lean in on other members in your community during your busy season. Try to attend meetings of groups when you can. Avoid planning and hosting anything big that will take up a lot of time. If your community has an online presence, lean into that more. Posting and commenting doesn't take very long. Set up any sponsorships of sports teams or local events ahead of time. Hire a temporary assistant or ask other community members to take over some of the back-end organizing. If you've created your own communities, try not to let them hibernate too much during your busy seasons. You'll lose good momentum. Instead, set up a system beforehand that will allow the community to continue flourishing. Consider, too, how you'll plant seeds during your off-season that will bear fruit during your busy one. Once you've established your presence in a community, try mentioning something like, "My busiest season is coming up, so you might not see me around as much. If you're interested in reviewing your insurance options, I'd be happy to help. You can give me a call and set up an appointment." Hopefully, you'll be scheduling appointments with some of those people you've met during your CBM efforts. Fulfilling needs in your community can look a lot of different ways. You're working on fulfilling the needs of your clients every day with thoughtful consideration of their time, budgets, and healthcare needs, where you can tap into powerful communities that foster a sense of belonging and obligation, and provide opportunities to answer the needs of others. Once you do, you'll discover the power of brand community members marketing your services for you. You never know who your next brand ambassador will be. As you're going out and creating or joining communities near you, it's nice to have an agent community you can fall back on for support. As a leading FMO, Ritter Insurance Marketing focuses on forming a supportive community. We offer sales support, portfolio reviews, Ritter's Roundtable Facebook group, numerous online and in-person events, quoting and enrollment tools, educational resources, and more. We'd love to have you as part of our community. You can register for free today using the link in the episode notes. By listening to this podcast, it makes you part of an online community. We always get so excited hearing from you. You can comment on social media, utilize our questions and polls on Spotify, or even be a guest on the show. Learn how you can get involved by emailing us at asgpodcast@ritterim.com or by leaving a message at 1-717-562-7211. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next episode. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an integrity company. This episode was written by Isabel Vitelli, script adaptation, recording, and production by me, Tina Lamoureux. Podcast design by Urban Rivera, artwork by Vivian Zhao. Rate and review the show on Apple or Spotify.